Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic and we are going to look at yet another indicator of attack. Let's see which one is it. It is black to play here. We have got a game position. Sunia white and Garry Kasparov is black. There are two rooks for the queen in this position. It's black to play. Black is trying to convert the game winning position almost into a win now. So what are the candidate moves? If you look at the pieces here, we see that black has already 3 pieces close to the white king. Bishop is eyeing the important diagonal. It's time to crash through into the position, and we are seeing that we are about to reach the enemy king. And here the main indicator of attack apart from assault ratio would be the demolition of pawn tower. Means removal of pawns in front of the enemy king. Sometimes it is direct removal. Sometimes there is deflection as well. So Kasparov starts with the obvious move here, but the calculation is a bit difficult and complex. Let's see what it is. The lines are not very deep, but the moves are not very easy to find. White played king f1. After king h1, there is the very strong move bishop takes e3, demolishing pawns one after the other. See what is the point. After the move bishop e3, if gf, then there is bishop f4. If followed by rook f2. If f into e, which happens to be the main variation, then this move is really difficult to find. Look at the tactic. Rook d g2, very strong. See, giving up the rook also. And after knight g2, I would suggest everyone should remember this pattern. See the deadly nature of the knight and the rook. Queen and bishop are away from the king. Threat is rook h3 mate. If the knight goes to f4, then rook g1 mates. And there is no defense whatsoever. So this I would say is one of the very tricky and critical lines which black had to see. After bishop e3, if white goes knight e6, then also black can force things. Rook takes f2. See, multiple threats are looming on the white king. Rook f1 is made now, so knight cannot take the rook. G takes f3, forced, and now rook f1 check, kh2, bishop g1 check is tempting, but black has the very strong e takes f3. Once again we see, if knight takes rook, then bishop f4 checkmates. If queen takes bishop, then rg2 checkmates. So now practically there is no defense. To the move qc2, which is almost forced. Amongst many moves, black can choose the simple bishop g1 check, king h1, bishop f2 check, forcing kh2 and bg3. See how different kinds of patterns are emerging in this position. These patterns are worth remembering. So let's go to the main game. So in the game, white plays the move king f1, trying to keep the king near the center. Still here also Kasparov had seen the move bishop e3. Multiple deflection ideas are there. Queen takes e3 would lose instantly to rook d1 check, ke2, rook e1 checkmate. F takes c3 forced, rook f2 was the mating threat. And now again comes rook dg2. Mostly one would have expected the other rook to join the 7th rank, but here there is a tactical point. The rook was occupying the d2 square, so here knight g2 would be met by knight d2 check, followed by winning the white queen. Queen c3, stopping the knight 4, and queen also eyes the g7 square and in some cases the c8 square. Rook h2, rook simply moves away and guides the other rook to go to g1. Now rook g1 is mating threat. Knight e2 almost forced, stopping rook g1. And now black is all set to go rook g2 g2 and mating on f2 square. But right now rook g2 would allow the move queen c8, kh7, queen f5 check, and there would be a draw. So white check on c8 is stopped by the move king h7. This move is very similar to my previous lecture where white played the move kh2. Now it's game over. White played the move qc8 in the game. Let's see what happens after the move qb4. Black would have first played f5, protecting queen e4 check, qb5, keeping eye on f5, f4. Once again qb4, eyeing the e4 square, and now comes the tactical blow. Knight d2 check, queen takes d2, rook h1 check, king f2 and f3. The knight cannot go to g3 because rook h2 check, d2 would be taken and the g3 knight would be lost. Black is already threatening rook g2 check mate. So now there is no defense here. If qd2 was not taken, then white had to play king e1, but then also comes the move f3. The role of knight d2 was to stop the queen e4 check. Now again it's game over. Rook e2 is coming by force. So king takes d2, rook e2 check, king c3, rook takes c3 check, kd4, and here black can do many things actually. Black can consider the move re2 attacking the bishop. He can try the move rook d3 check, ke4, f2 when kd3 is met by f1, or he can go with the direct move f2 also. Black simply promotes the pawn to queen by force. So all in all, we can say the analysis is not at all easy. White plays queen c8 in the game, and now let's see what happens. Rook h1 check, king f2, and now black has the waiting move knight d2. Time and again we are seeing in last few lessons, every time in a forced series of moves we see these kind of waiting moves, which only shows the nature of tactics. In an out and out forced series of moves, very often we see such a waiting move. Now the threat is rook f1 checkmate. There is nothing much here. White resigned because after knight g3 we see that there is rook h2 check, ke1, first knight f3 check, kd1, rook d2 check, kc1, rook c5 check would have won the queen. So maybe white would have preferred the move king f1, to which we see rook b2 is even more dangerous. Now the knight can go to h2 and maybe knight on g3 can be taken with a check. Another threat we can see is the move rook c5 when queen c5 is forced, otherwise rook c1 checkmates. So in this final position we see that positionally, that is king safety wise, activity of pieces wise and material wise, in all the three sectors of the game, black is much better than white. So white's decision to resign was fair enough. I hope you are liking these lessons. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.